Hello, bakers. I'm Henry Hunter. I've been baking bread for a long time, written 6 books on it, and I run a community called Crust and Crumb Academy, where bakers come to actually get better instead of just posting pretty pictures. And today I want to talk to you about something that trips up almost every home baker who decides they want to make baguettes. There are 3 ways to do it: yeasted, Poolish, sourdough. They all end up looking like the same loaf on your cutting board, but the way you get there couldn't be more different. So if you've ever stood in your kitchen, scrolled through 3 different recipes, and wondered which one you should actually start with, this is for you. Here's the thing most people miss. The baguette isn't really one bread. It's 3 breads sharing a shape. Each version teaches you something different, and the skills stack. So you pick the path that matches where you are right now, and the next step's going to be there waiting when you're ready for it. Now, before we get into the differences, let's talk about what stays the same. Because no matter which one you bake, 3 things never change. The shape, a 14 to 16 inch roll, tapered at the ends, made by pre-shaping, resting, then rolling under your palms. The score, 3 or 4 overlapping cuts down the center line of the loaf, made with a lame at a 30 to 45 degree angle. And the crust, built by steam in the first 10 minutes, set by high heat after that. Those 3 things carry across all 3 recipes. Learn them once, use them forever. What changes between the 3 is everything that happens before you ever pick up the dough to shape it. The fermentation, the flavor, and honestly, your relationship with time. That's really the choice you're making when you pick a recipe. You're not picking a different bread. You're picking how much time you want to spend with it and how much you want the dough to do the work versus how much you're going to do. So let's walk through them. Path 1, the yeasted baguette. Cleanest entry point you're going to find. 4 ingredients: flour, water, instant yeast, salt. You mix it in the evening, give it a few folds, then put it in the fridge overnight. The cold ferment does most of the flavor work for you while you're sleeping. Next morning, you shape, proof, and bake. 2 loaves, done. Pick the yeasted version if you've never made a baguette before. Pick it if you don't keep a sourdough starter and you don't want to deal with one yet. Pick it if you decided yesterday that today's the day and you want loaves on the table tomorrow. It's not the deepest flavor, but it's going to teach you the shape and the score. And those are the 2 skills that matter most when you start moving up. Path 2, the Poolish baguette. This one sits right in the middle. You mix a small jar of flour, water, and a tiny pinch of yeast the night before. That's your Poolish. Leave it on your counter overnight, and by morning it's domed up, bubbly, and it already smells like fresh bread. Next day, you mix it into your final dough. And the Poolish brings 2 things to the party. Flavor, because the long fermentation breaks down the flour into more complex sugars. And extensibility, because that dough's going to handle like silk in your hands. You ever wondered why bakery baguettes taste better than the ones from the supermarket? Most of the time, the answer's a Poolish. Pick the Poolish if you've baked yeasted bread a few times and you're ready for the next level. Pick it if you've tasted bakery baguettes and you want to know how to get that flavor at home. Pick it if you're thinking about sourdough, but you're not ready to commit to keeping a starter alive yet. Poolish is the bridge. It's going to teach you what pre-fermentation actually does to dough. And honestly, the flavor jump from straight dough to Poolish is bigger than the jump from Poolish to sourdough. This is where most home bakers really break through. Path 3, the sourdough baguette. This one replaces the commercial yeast with a starter you've been keeping alive. The night before, you build a small portion of starter, flour, and water. That's your levain. By morning, it's at peak. You mix it into your final dough. Fermentation runs longer and deeper than Poolish. The flavor goes from sweet and yeasty into tangy and complex. The crumb opens up in a different way. This is the destination version. Once you've baked one, you understand why people get obsessed with this stuff. Pick the sourdough if you already keep a starter and you feed it regularly. Pick it if you've made sourdough boules or batards and you're ready to take what you know and put it in a new shape. Pick it if you want the deepest flavor and the most control over the process. It's not harder than Poolish, it's just different. The wild yeast works on its own schedule, and you gotta learn to read it instead of telling it what to do. Now here's something I want you to look at. Because people see sourdough and 12 to 16 hour Poolish, and they think it's a huge time commitment. The wait time is longer, sure, but your active hands-on time, almost the same across all three. You're mixing, folding, shaping, baking. The dough's doing the rest while you're living your life. So when you pick a path, you're not picking how much work you're going to do. You're picking how much time the dough gets to develop before you bake it. Okay, so here's the path most home bakers walk. Yeasted first, because it teaches you the shape and the score without overwhelming you. Poolish next, because it teaches you what time and pre-fermentation do to dough. Sourdough last, because by the time you're ready for it, you already understand everything else. Now you don't have to walk it in this exact order. You can start anywhere you want, but the skills stack, and most folks find the climbs a whole lot easier when they take it one step at a time. Here's everything side by side if you want to compare. The engine, the pre-ferment, the flavor, and the core lesson each one's going to teach you. Pause the video here if you want to sit with it for a minute. But listen, whatever recipe you pick, three things matter more than the recipe itself. The shape, pre-shape, rest, then roll. Don't fight the dough. If it pulls back on you, give it 5 more minutes and try again. The score, lamb at a 30 to 45 degree angle. 3 or 4 overlapping cuts down the center line. Confident and quick. Hesitation? It shows up in the crust as drag marks. The steam. Crust sets in the first 10 minutes. Hot water in a preheated pan, oven door shut fast. Without steam, your loaf can't expand and the score can't open into an ear. Get those 3 things right? Any of these 3 recipes is going to work for you. So here's the simple version of how to pick. No starter? Go yeasted. You'll have loaves in 24 hours, and you'll learn the shape and the score. You've baked yeasted before, and you want bakery flavor without managing a starter? Go Poolish. Biggest flavor leap you can make in one bake. You're already keeping a starter, and you've baked sourdough boules or batards? Jump to the sourdough baguette. The shape's going to be new, but the fermentation rhythm? Already familiar. You're not picking wrong. You're just picking where you start. All right, that's the choice. Yeasted, Poolish, or sourdough. Same shape, 3 paths. All 3 recipes are free in our recipe pantry. Links in the description. Pick yours. Read it through. Master the shape. And listen, if you want more of this kind of stuff, breakdowns like this, troubleshooting, weekly bake-alongs, real coaching from a guy who's been doing this for a long time, come find us at Crust and Crumb Academy. #1 bread baking community on School. Bakers don't come there to get likes. They come there to get better. Perfection is not required. Progress is. Come bake with us.